anniversaries sometimes, and I do it about my own birthday and Christmases and things like that. And it's not because anything special happens, it's just a celebration of what we've been able to create. And you know, we started our business, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I loved that, but what I didn't love was that I didn't really get to be much of a contribution to our household income. And I tried to do a lot of things, you know, to be able to stay at home and still, you know, raise our children. And you know, I cleaned houses for people, and I did people's laundry, and I did everything that I could do to try and contribute to the household income, but it just seemed like it took more away from the family than what it gave back. And it was not very fun having, you know, my husband living in his place of work all day, every day, all week, and you know, the kids and I being at home. And I don't know about you guys, but we got married and started a family because we liked to be together and we wanted to do things together, and it just really wasn't going the direction we wanted. And fortunately for us, I really believe that Herbalife found us when we were ready for Herbalife, and we got our business started. And I'll share with you here a little bit of our personal results. Let me find this really quick. And when we got started, I was really struggling with my weight and with my health. And as you can see, maybe you can see, let's see, thumbs up. Can you see my screen? Okay, so you know, this is Maurice and I both as we were getting started. I was 27 years old, he was 29 years old, and I was really struggling with my weight. I just couldn't figure out how to make the weight gain slow down, and I just was exhausted all the time, and I just was looking for a way to get control. And like I said, Herbalife found us. I got started on my nutrition plan. And guys, I just did what my coach taught me to do, whether it, you know, seemed like fun or not, whether it was my favorite foods or not. And lo and behold, I was able to lose 65 pounds. And I did that without adding exercise. It was just cleaning up my nutrition, and been able to keep that off now for almost 18 years. Plus, I was able to, you know, here a couple of years ago, I decided to take on the products at a whole new level, and I actually went into the gym for the first time at age 42 and was able to create some results with that. So I'm really excited about my results. And then, you know, of course, my husband got started on the products at the same time, lost 40 pounds, felt great, looks great. Let's just say that I'm a happy girl. And, but it's really, you know, it's been so much more than, you know, just weight loss and just nutrition. Herbalife really has given us an opportunity to create a family. And I always wanted to be a mom, and, you know, Herbalife has given us the ability to be able to work at home, work around our own schedules, work, you know, with our children right there with us. I remember when we first got started, I could hear my coach's children on the phone in the background, and that made me feel like, you know what, I could probably really do this too. And it's been a family business now. 2 of our 4 children are already operating their own Herbalife businesses, and our 3rd child is 52 days away from being able an Herbalife distributor herself, and the 4th child is just counting the days until he's able to as well. And so Herbalife really has been a great opportunity for me. And what you're going to hear today, we're going to be sharing with you a little bit about, you know, Herbalife and our history and how the company got started, you know, 5 years ago now, and where the company is today. You're going to hear testimonials, you guys, about people, you know, using the Herbalife products and building their own Herbalife business. But before we begin, I just want to read this transparency statement really quick. Now, you're going to hear about people sharing with you their personal product or business success story. And Herbalife nutrition products, of course, don't diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any kind of illnesses or diseases. They simply provide good nutrition. And when the body receives good nutrition, it responds in a positive way. And in terms of the business opportunity, you guys, some distributors here will be sharing a little bit about their income and how much they make with their Herbalife businesses. However, incomes are not applicable to, or incomes are applicable to those individuals and are not average. To find average gross performance compensation, you can find that in the business opportunity section at startherbalife.com. So whether you're here to start full-time or part-time, your success depends solely on your own hard work and willingness to put in effort. So let's get started. Okay, and let's keep going. And so, you know, Herbalife actually has been around for many years now. We started in 1980, and the company has grown year after year after year. And actually, let's see, do we have our first guest on? I'm sorry, we're having a bit of a challenge here. Let me. All right. Looking for. All right. Well, we have another testimonial lined up here for you today. However, we're going to come back to that in just a moment. Sorry, you guys.
Sandra, do you want me to talk about the Minneapolis event?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, great. Am I on?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, hi everybody. This is Leslie Stanford, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Learn to Earn training in Minneapolis, Minnesota that's coming up here January 29th for the Active World team, and Saturday and Sunday, January 30th and 31st for everybody else. We just got off the call today with our guest speaker, a very special guest speaker, Chairman's Club member Jane Clark. And for those of you who don't know David and Jane, they're from the United Kingdom. They live just outside of London, and they've been with the Herbalife company for 20 years, and they've definitely had their ups and downs in the business. But just 3.5 years ago, they started seriously implementing the 3-day trial in their business, and they've experienced some really remarkable things since then. And because of some of their downline into implementing the 3-day trials, they got to Chairman's Club, which is one of the top levels, second to the top levels in the company. And they have, in the last 3.5 years, they've added 4 new President's team members, 4 millionaire team members, 14 global expansion team members, 40 active world team members, and 931 supervisors. When she told me those statistics, that really got my attention. And so that's when I became seriously interested in the 3-day trials. And today, when we talked about the training around the 3-day trials and the 10-5-1-R system that she's going to give us in Minneapolis, I want you to know that whoever's listening to this, whatever level you are in the business, in the marketing plan, whether you're brand new or if you're, you know, president's team or founder circle, but there's going to be something for you. I've already learned so much just from talking to her on the telephone, and I can't wait to get there. Couple of the things that you're going to be learning that I really picked up on is Jane's going to teach us how to make new contacts every single day. I mean, sometimes we've gone through our center of influence, friends and family, Facebook friends. Then what do you do? And she's going to teach us how to get new contacts every single day. What to say to them. You know, she's got a very non-pitchy kind of soft way about her, and that's really appealing to me, that I know that, you know, when I got involved, I could not imagine being in sales, and the way that she does it is very non-threatening, very much the way that I go about doing things. And so I love hearing from her, and she's going to show us how they helped a single mom a year ago who was making just a couple of $100 a month in Herbalife go from that to $3,000 to $4,000 in income per month now. So that's a couple of the things that she's going to teach us. But also, if you've been using the 3-day trials for 3, 6, or 9 months in your business, Jane's going to train us on what it takes to grow a royalty override check using the 3-day trials, and what kind of training and support structure that they have used around the 3-day trials to really make their checks grow and explode in the United Kingdom. So, this business is not a hypothetical, or this training that we're coming to and this methodology is not a hypothetical training. This is a proven plan. This is a proven system that they have shown just in the last 3 years really, really works. And so there's going to be live stories. There are going to be statistics to back up all the training. And, there's nothing like experience to learn anything or to teach anything. And Jane's going to definitely tell us in a very straightforward manner, which I appreciate, what it takes to grow a Get Team business, a Millionaire Team business, or a President's Team business using the 3-day trials. I just love Jane. I love her trainings because she tells it like it is. She's sincere, she's fun, she's funny, and she conducts her business, as I said earlier, in a very kind of non-pitchy, non-threatening way that really appeals to a lot of people. And I know it's going to appeal to you as well. So get your tickets. You can go to getregistered247.com. Bring as many people as you possibly can in your organization. You're going to be so happy that you did, because we always hear about people talk about certain trainings that really turned their whole life around, turned their whole business around. And just by what I've heard Jane talk about, I know this is going to be one of those trainings. So you want to make sure that you bring as many people as you can, and this could be the thing that really makes a big difference for you. And don't forget the mustache bash. I'm going to grow in my mustache, and I'll do the best I can. If it's a little patchy, then I can always wear a fake one. I've got it all set to go. It's going to be really cold, you guys, so you're going to want to really bundle up when you get there. Good thing it's going to be indoors. But I am so getting ready for this training. And I can't wait to see you all there.
Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Leslie. Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. And so you guys, Herbalife stands on a strong foundation. Started by Mark Hughes in 1980 when he was only 23 years old. And he knew that there was a better way. You know what? He knew there was a better way for people to get healthy. And today, Mark's dream has now become a reality as Herbalife operates in over 90 countries throughout the world. And we're strong, over 3 decades in business. And today, you guys, were led by Michael Johnson, who's a visionary who came to us from Walt Disney International, where he was the president. Michael also is an athlete and an accomplished cyclist, and he's passionate about the mission of Herbalife. And Herbalife really has total nutrition that can be personalized for each person's individual needs, from basic nutrition to feed the cells of the body to weight management, digestive health, heart health, stress management, women's and men's health, healthy aging, children's health. The list goes on and on. And before I go into what your next step is, if you're joining us here as a guest, I'd like to introduce to you a very special guest that we have been able to find and get connected. So I'd like to turn it over to Anthony. Anthony, are you there? Oh, you're muted.
Unmute.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Always love technology and the way that it works, but you know what? In Herbalife, you always know the no problem. So here we go. All right. So my wife and I have been at this for about, I'd say, 4 years now. And my wife was a stay-at-home mom. And really, we were just looking to get on some product, and even to get the product at 50%. That is the only reason why we started doing this. What ended up happening is I dropped 45 pounds. Evie dropped 22 pounds. My parents saw what was going on. They're like, we want some. We're like, listen, we don't want to have anything to do with this. Whatever. And they're like, well, give us some. So we did. So we started helping out my mom, my dad. My dad lost 55 pounds. My mom lost 120 pounds. My sister lost 12 pounds. People started asking more questions. And all I can tell you is because of those amazing results, this business, this income side thing started to happen. And what turned out as my wife being a stay-at-home mom ended up being a not stay-at-home mom, utilized one of the local nutrition clubs to run her business out of, along with just being at home. So it's been an amazing, amazing way to get started. We have amazing energy to keep up with our kids. We got 3 kids and our herbal lifestyle. Because of that amazing energy and because of the 45 pounds and because of the way that we feel and the way that I feel, I completed a full Ironman. So that's 140.6 miles using only Prolong. So if you guys haven't used the Prolong, that's all I used for 16 and a half straight hours. It was super yummy. So absolutely love the sports nutrition side. So because of that, and because of this thing that started, people always say, you either come in through inspiration or desperation. We came in for inspiration. It was the people, the leadership development weekends. It was the events that we'd go to on a monthly basis. It was the people around the company. It was people that are like on this call right now that just inspired us to look at a different picture. All I know is that I was working a corporate job that was a very, very good company. There was nothing wrong with it, but we felt like something was missing. We felt like we needed to take a next step. So because of that, we made some calculated moves. We didn't just up and quit our job, but some calculated moves. We made it took about a year, and we decided to do this thing full time. We've been absolutely loving it. It's so much fun spending time with our kids, spending time with our family, spending time with each other. So we gave up what's good to go get something great. Now, we're not there yet, but we're very clear on our future. What we love most is this system, the 3-day trial packs. And the way that we're able to incorporate this into our business has just made things simple. So utilizing the 3-day trial system in the last 3 months, we made $3,805, and that goes into our total income for those 3 months, including our wholesale, so our checks from Herbalife, $14,657.
Wow. Awesome job. And way to overcome technology too. Yay.
Oh, Sandra, I forgot to say that something that we've been absolutely blessed with. My wife and I love to travel. And so over the last 4 years that we've been doing Herbalife, we've gone on 3 Herbalife all expense paid vacations with even qualifying for this last one. So we're going to be seeing you guys at the Hard Rock Cafe, the Hard Rock Resort in Mexico. Yeah.
Wow, awesome job. Congratulations. And we'll see you there. We're qualified also. I'm very, very excited. And so you guys, again, if you're joining us here as a guest or just to take a look or to see what's going on, your next step is pretty simple. If you have not already become an Herbalife member, then that would be your next step. If you actually, let me back up one. If you are not already using the Herbalife products and you're just here to check it out, then that would be your next step, is to get started on your customized Herbalife nutrition plan. And your coach can help you get that set up. And that's super easy. You'll start to feel great. And that's the first step, is to get started on the products, to look better and feel better. Then, if you are looking to get started here on a part-time basis or a full-time basis, regardless, then your next step is to get registered with the company, and your coach or whoever invited you here to this call can also help you with that. And now what we're going to do is Anthony mentioned a couple of really great points, and we're going to move into a few of the things that he touched on but didn't really talk about. So if you're here as a guest, you're welcome to stay and continue to learn about how to set up your 2016 in a powerful way, and how to how to put together what we call a 90-day plan, which is basically, what are you going to do in your business each day for the next 90 days to create a result? So I'm going to go ahead and go to screen share, and let's look at a couple of notes here. Oh shoot, Anthony, I forgot to share your photos. So here's Anthony's results photos really quick before we move on. Tremendous results. I just love Herbalife and the results is page 28 of your flip book. And so understanding, regardless of what profit level you're at, you need to know what your profit is on each lean and fit that you get a person started on. So that's laid out for you right in the flip book. We don't need to, spend a lot of time here. So when you're setting up your 90-day plan, what Maurice and I were taught in the beginning, and I'm sure there's more than one way to do this, but what Maurice and I were taught as we were first getting started, and what has always worked for us, is to start with knowing how much do you want your Herbalife business to pay you that month, or whatever the time segment is. Let's work with a month here for the sake of working this out today. So how much do you need for your Herbalife, or want your Herbalife business to give you for the month? And then once you have that number, and guys, we're talking profit, not just, gross income. We're talking, what do you get to keep? What's your profit? And so once you know that number, then we look at how many lean and fit clients is that going to be? And that's where we refer back to the profit per lean and fit plan. And this will let you know, then when we move forward, this will let you know how many lean and fit clients you're going to need in order to hit that dollar amount. I would ask if that makes sense, but I can't see anybody. So then the next thing, once you know how many clients you need, now we take, and I'm going to go back and look at how to do this, but now we look at how many 3-day trials, how many 3-day trial packs do we need to have out in the marketplace in order to create that number of lean and fit clients, to create that number of income. So we work with the end to start and work our way backwards to what action we need to take today in order to create that result. And how you know how many 3-day trials you need to hit that number is looking, if you don't have tracking already in your business on how many clients you get when you get 10 of the 3-day trial packs out, then you just use these numbers because they work. And that is our 10-5-1-R plan. So to explain the 10-5-1 R, for those of you who are brand new, it is 10 of the 3-day trials. And, with practice, the estimated number, the target, the goal is to have, from those 10 3-day trials that are completed by your person, about 5 of those typically will become a client on a lean and fit plan. And then our goal is to create from those 5, one person who would like to do what you're doing and to be able to create a business. So that's what the 10-5-1 stands for. 10 3-day trials into the marketplace, 5 clients on a lean and fit plan, and 1 person who'd like to do what you're doing. So 1 person to duplicate you. Okay, back to screen share. So once we have that, let's look at the example. Let's say, for example, you need for your business to give you about $1,000 for the month. And for the sake of these numbers and just finding a place to work from, let's say that you're at supervisor, which is a 50% profit level. So as a supervisor, to make $1,000 profit from those packs, you'll need about 12 new clients at $87.45 per profit. Hopefully that makes sense. And so what that means, if you look at the 10-5-1, that means that we're looking at about 24 of the 3-day trials out into the marketplace, and that would be a minimum. I never, ever, ever put my bank account on the minimums. So if my minimum is that I need to get 24 of the 3-day trial packs out, in my mind, my target is 30, because I don't want to leave anything to chance. There's always, people that are, late coming through, or they get off track or whatever. There's always some little thing, and you don't want your financial plan to be messed up by playing at the minimums. Okay, so for me, if my goal was 24 minimum, then I would probably be looking at, getting 30 into that marketplace as quickly as possible. So now let's look at, once you have the plan laid out, okay, and again, guys, these are rough numbers. This will help you to get started putting a plan together, and then working with your coach to be able to dial it in and to figure out just exactly what you need to do. But this is a great place to start. And then once you have the plan basically laid out, Now we look at how do you execute the 90-day plan. So if your goal is to have 25 of the 3-day trial packs out for the month in order to hit the numbers that you're looking for or that you need, then my advice would be to get all of those out within the first 2 weeks if possible, or the first 3 weeks at the very longest. And now you have that final week to continue to work with all of those people on those 3-day trials to bring them through completion, to get your clients on the 3-day or on the lean and fit nutrition plans to continue on the plan. And then also you guys to be able to get referrals from those clients who've gotten started throughout the month and here as we close out the month. And what that's going to do is that's going to help you set up or help you close out the current month strong and start to build momentum into your second month, and in order to hit the numbers of the final month. And again, in executing the plan, you guys, a couple of keys. Again, these were things that were taught to us 17 and a half or more years ago, and they still work today. We still operate with these things in mind every day. And that is, once you begin a 90-day plan, you just keep the pedal down until the final day. Okay, you don't get started and do really good for 2 weeks and then let off. If you don't feel like things are really moving fast, then you might need to put the pedal down a little harder maybe. And the second point is to save all evaluation for day 91. So don't get 1 week into your plan and go, gosh, I don't have whatever result happening yet. I need to change my plan. You're only a week into a 90-day plan. Don't be evaluating and changing things up in your first week or your second week or your fifth week. Wait to do the evaluation until the end of the 90-day plan, because all throughout that 90-day plan, it's like the first 30 days is to establish some kind of momentum. The second 30 days is to accelerate the momentum. And in that third 30 days is where the plan starts to really kick in and you start to see the results. But if you're changing things up somewhere inside the first 2 months because you get a little nervous or lose faith in the plan, now your plan is off and you kind of have to start over with the momentum and the belief, and it damages you in your head just a little bit. So keep the pedal down. Don't be evaluating until the 90-day plan is over, and then continue your plan as it's laid out without changing it. Unless you're increasing it, don't change it for the entire 90 days. And you know what? People ask me all the time, what if I miss a day? Or what if I don't hit my numbers for a day? And all I can say is just don't do that. This is your business. This is your livelihood. This is, for me, this is how we put food on the table for our children and keep a roof over our heads. This is your business. Don't miss a day. Okay, and then so with that, I'm going to turn it back over here to Anthony. I know, Anthony, you've got a lot of really great points, and you have your current 90-day plan that you've just completed, that you've got some numbers for us. And I also know that your wife has gotten great results. So let's just go ahead and open with that once we get you unmuted. There we go.
There we go. Yes, so that is my wife. That's the awesome, powerful stay-at-home mom that got this thing started simply because, well, she had twins. People are like, at the age of 30, whatever, you're not going to be able to get that stomach back. And then all of a sudden, she lost the weight. She got fit. People started paying attention. So that's Evie's picture testimony. So it's super awesome. We don't get older, we get better. We find out more new ways to stay fit and active. So we absolutely love that. So that's my awesome and wonderful wife there. All right, so the 90-day plan that we followed, just to kind of set the stage for everybody, back at the very beginning of October, we had just come out of another training where we talked about another way to implement a 90-day plan. We hear about these 90-day plans all the time. Implement your 90-day plan, go for your 90-day plan, stick to your 90-day plan. The problem is that we're human, so we don't stick to the plan, and the problem is that we actually don't plan the plan. So we're like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this for like 2 weeks, but we actually don't really say, what happens at the end of the 2 weeks when I'm out of those original people to contact, or when I need to change something up a little bit, or what happens when you don't look far enough into the future? At the end of that 90 days, what if? like start to dream a little bit, because the magic is not just in that first 90-day plan. It's thinking, well, this is my livelihood. This is what I'm going to do. I know for Evie and I doing this full time, we're thinking, okay, we need to set a 90-day plan. Then we need to set a 90-day plan. Then we need to set a 90-day plan, because that's the way we think, because we're nowhere near where we want to go. So we have to be very intentional with what we're doing. So because we set the plan in place, and we were looking at that slide, something I want to show you guys real quick. You can pop that back on there. This is something that's pretty neat in the last quarter, something that we didn't even realize until we put the numbers together. But if you see in October, we got 21 out, 17 people committed or completed, 10 clients, 6 members, and we made 803 in profit. November, when everybody's talking about, now keep in mind, we put in place our 90 days. So 90 days, we have Thanksgiving in there. 90 days, we have Christmas in there. So we understand that those things are happening, but we don't use them as an excuse. We use them as a reason. Jim Rohn says, always be working towards your seasons. And this is one of the seasons that you need to be just sowing, putting that seed down, putting that seed down, putting that seed down. And because we had that sense of urgency that was happening in October, look what happened to our November. So our November, we get 32 out, 32 complete, 19 clients, 6 members, and over $2,000 of profit just off of 3-day trials, right? Now here comes December, right? But we know what's going to happen in December. So in December, we're not just only doing 9 packs, but we're building January. So for everybody, they're like, what do you do when people say no? Or when they tell me we're going to have to put off until the first of the year, I'm like, that's fantastic. You have people telling you they're interested and they're giving you a date on the calendar to follow up and get them started. That's fantastic. I wish that we could find people all the time that gave us those dates. So if you look, what is interesting about December is we got better. So October, we had 21 out. In December, we had 9. We had 9 complete, 4 clients, 3 members, and 908 in profit. Look at October's profit. 803 versus 908. You know why? Because we hopped on a Zoom call, one of these Monday night Zoom calls that we feel that are very important. And I was hearing people talk about these numbers, and I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, okay, what's going on? They got a secret. They've got a secret, and they're not telling me. And the secret is they didn't just stop at the lean and fit. You've got to go for no. You got to let the client tell you when they're done putting together their package. And we were stopping at the lean and fit in October, but in December, people were like, yes, add the cellulose. Yes, add the total control or the multivitamin. Yes, add the protein beverage mix. So that's the reason why we got 9 packs out, but we have 908 in profit with that much less clients. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Okay, flip it. You can flip it back over to the other deal. How do you take it off screen share? Yes, there we go. I have to have even a plan to talk about my 90-day plan. So I've got something I got to read, because if I don't, my monkey mind goes crazy here. So inside your 90-day plan, now the 3-day trial, we made in 3 months, made 3,806. In checks, we made 11,654. So that's our wholesale and all that happening at our organizational volume. And then the total income that we made in the last quarter is 14,657. Now, when you're setting up your 90-day plan, here's something that we went back and reread from our very first leadership development weekend that we went to, is that you will not see the fruits of your labor of your 90-day plan for 120 days. That is definitely delayed satisfaction. But you know what? When you're clear and you have a vision on what you want, you keep on going. Because you listen to the people that have already done it. You go to the meetings, you hop on the Zoom calls of people that have already been doing it, and you just got to borrow their eyes. You got to borrow their vision on what's going to happen. Because I don't know. We don't know. Our team doesn't know. So we have to entrust the people that have already done it, and we just got to keep on going. So we just completed that first 90 days. It was an awesome 90 days. We had clarity, we had direction, we had focus. But here's the ticket. In October, and I briefly spoke about this, is that we planned 2 back-to-back 90-day plans. Now, we planned everything, because Jim Rohn says either you run the day or the day runs you, right? So if we don't have that plan, all of a sudden a Monday's gone, a Tuesday's gone, a Wednesday's gone, and you're like, oh, well, what was I supposed to do? You should know your list you're going to run. You should know the contacts you're going to contact. You should know the posts that you're going to make. And when we sat down to plan out our October, November, December, January, February, March, we did a whole marketing calendar for that 90-day plan. We have a marketing calendar for New Year's, leading into spring break, leading into wedding, leading into triathlete season, leading into 5K, 7K, 10Ks, leading into marathons, leading into bathing suit season, leading into fall, lose weight before you gain it, right? Which is what we just finished. So we even have a posting schedule around the marketing calendar and a general post for even the 3-day trials. Like everything is planned. If you saw our calendars and our papers and what our dining room table looks like sometimes, it looks like 90-day plan exploded all over our kitchen. But that's the way we've got to, because we did leave that comfortable lifestyle. We did leave that 6-figure income, because what we see through Herbalife with the financial freedom and flexibility, because right now we have flexibility, but we're building that financial freedom and we're working really, really, really hard. And we have income numbers. So we set that up for the first 90 days. We have 3-day trial numbers and we go for that. And we set it, here's our goal every single month. Our goal is 40 every single month. We figure that if there's 2 of us, a husband and wife, then there should be 20 per person. That's just the way we think, okay? Personal volume goals, org goals. What ultimately, in summary, what a 90-day plan does for you, it creates confidence, it creates direction, it creates milestones, and it creates the ability of course corrections. Because unless you're following the 90-day plan, you don't know what works and what doesn't work. So that doesn't mean that you have to follow the second 90-day plan exactly the way you put it. You just make course corrections. And ultimately, Jim Rohn says, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into somebody else's life plan, and guess what? They don't have much planned for you. So, hope I gathered some stuff up. But sometimes I get all excited talking about this stuff.
No, it was perfect. Very well done, well packaged and well delivered. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see you in Minneapolis. And then, okay, so you guys, one more thing here before we go. Actually, yeah, one more thing before we go. So going to go back to screen share here really quick. Awesome numbers again, Anthony. And we're at the beginning of a month again, guys. So we have the password updates for all of our tools and our websites. So you'll see here on the screen, and this will also be posted in the Facebook groups where you normally will find them, but our getstarted247.com and our mondayzoom.com. The passwords for those will now be START. And successdetails247.com, the video for the success details, and the 3-day trial details.com are both now going to be new. And I believe that will be effective this evening or tomorrow morning. So if your current one doesn't work, these are the new ones. And I'd like to thank Laura Meister, had the great idea for having January with Start New as our password. So that's fantastic. So guys, next week here on the Zoom at the same time, same place, we're going to have President's Team member Laura Meister as our host next week. It's going to be a fantastic Zoom, and we're going to learn about a little bit more about the events coming up, and then how not only to be there, but how to promote them to your team and help your team see their way to get there as well. And I know we have one final word here from our lovely resident Founders Circle member, Ms. Leslie Stanford. So over to you.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Anthony. I was just looking at your before and after photos for you, Maurice, Evie, Anthony. I can't believe how much better everybody looks as they get older. It's incredible. Sandra, you look better now at 44, 45. Than you did at 27. Seriously, it's incredible. So you guys, one more thing I wanted to say about Minneapolis, because I feel so strongly, as you can see, I'm bundled up and ready to go. I can't wait. got my mustache ready to go. We are going to be launching a brand new tool that none of us have seen, that none of you have seen, that in Minneapolis, that Jane has said is one of the main keys to their success in building an organization with the 3-day trials. She said their group uses this tool hundreds of times a day. And so we're going to be launching that in Minneapolis, so you don't want to miss out on that and getting a training on exactly how to use that tool. So, you know, I know you'll do your best to be there. Again, go to get registered 24/7 and get registered. And we'll see you all in beautiful, balmy Minnesota. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone.